खड़गे की रणनीति पर सुधांशु त्रिवेदी का प्रहार। सदन में हुआ ऐसा हंगामा कि हिल गई कांग्रेस पार्टी। सुधांशु त्रिवेदी के भाषण ने सोशल मीडिया पर मचाई सनसनी। सुधांशु त्रिवेदी के नॉनस्टॉप भाषण ने कांग्रेस खेमे में मचाई खलबली।
कहा तो हम सिर्फ ये कहना चाहते हैं कि हमारी तरफ से पूरा सम्मान किया जाता है। सर, नेता सदन ने यदि अबोध शब्द का प्रयोग किया है तो बोध का अर्थ होता है ज्ञान। इसमें अप्रत्यय लगाकर जो ज्ञान ना हो उसके लिए अबोध होता है। कोई सम्मान नहीं, किसी का असम्मान नहीं है। सर, ज्ञान की कोई सीमा नहीं होती, अज्ञान की कोई उम्र नहीं होती। और अबोध होने का प्रमाण यह, जिसे यह ना पता हो कि फ्लोर ऑफ द हाउस के ऊपर सब्सटेंशियल एविडेंस मीडिया रिपोर्ट नहीं होती है, वो अबोध है। सर, जिसे यह ना पता हो कि सेना अध्यक्ष और प्रधानमंत्री रक्षा मंत्री के बीच का कम्युनिकेशन ऑफिशियल सीक्रेट एक्ट में आता है, वो पब्लिक डोमेन में नहीं हो सकता, वो अबोध है। और सर, मैं ये भी कहना चाहता हूं, यदि किताब की बात है सर, मैं कोट करता हूं और इसको सब्सटेंशिएट कर सकता हूं। 19 नवंबर 1962 जवाहरलाल नेहरू ने अमेरिकी राष्ट्रपति जॉन एफ कैनेडी को लिखा कि हमें V2 बॉम्बर चाहिए, हमें स्क्वाड्रन चाहिए जिसका नेतृत्व आप करें। और सुनिए, उस समय अमेरिका में भारत के राजदूत बीके नेहरू, जो नेहरू जी के भतीजे थे, उन्होंने अपनी किताब गुड गाइज फिनिश सेकंड में सर उन्होंने लिखा कि जब मैं वो पत्र देने जा रहा था प्रेसिडेंट के एडवाइजर को, तो मुझे इतनी शर्म महसूस हो रही थी जब अपनी एयरफोर्स की कमांड उनको दे रहे, मैं रोया था। बीके नेहरू की किताब गुड गाइज फिनिश सेकंड। तो सर, ज्ञान और अज्ञान दोनों को समझ में रखकर तब देश के बारे में विचार करना चाहिए।
You have given me an opportunity to speak about the democratic principles of this country. Sir, Parliament means Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha as per our constitution. We have got two chambers, and one is Lok Sabha, another is Rajya Sabha. But the Lok Sabha leader, LOP, is not allowed to speak, and he wanted to speak about the country's interest, sir. And whenever, how can we run the?
My esteemed colleague and the leader of the opposition should know that the proceedings of the Lok Sabha cannot be discussed in Rajya Sabha, and you have given ruling not once, many times, and previous chairmen have also given a ruling on it that the Lok Sabha proceedings cannot be discussed in Rajya Sabha, and so such discussion.
Now matters rise.
अगर इनको इच्छा है तो अपने पार्टी के सदस्यों को बोले कि लोकसभा में चर्चा करें और राज्यसभा में जो पूरी अच्छी तरीके से चर्चा चल रही है और प्रोसीडिंग चल रही है वो चलती रहे, ऐसा मेरा निवेदन है।
My leader KCR ji and my colleagues and myself thank the Honorable President for our address. While running through the address, we noticed some commendable issues which was mentioned in the Rashtrapati ji's address, lifting 24 crore citizens out of poverty, Jal Jeevan Mission piped water to 11 crore families. Of course, this is the Telangana model under Mission Bhagiratha, and also the 5th largest economy. Now, these are commendable achievements, Deputy Chairman, sir. But what really intrigued me, of the 56 paragraphs in the Rashtrapati ji's address, paragraph 11 is what really intrigued me. In paragraph 11, the government spoke about express reforms. They spoke about reforms in GST, reforms in IT. Well, they are commendable. Reforms in GST, bilkul, helping a small marginal farmers to poor people in buying their daily commodities, the tax coming down definitely will create some saving. IT for middle class has been very helpful. We appreciate that. These are all the revenue generations for the government. But what fundamentally is required today is, and most of the members today, while speaking on the address, sir, there's a major concern on the growing inequality in India. While India continues to grow, the inequality is an area of concern. And of course, I would not like to dwell too much on the figures, but it's a matter of concern. And I, in my personal view, can point out one fundamental reason for this growing inequality, where I would like to emphasize my motion of thanks speech on two issues. One is land, one is water, and how this inequality is, growing by the year. Deputy Chairman, sir, 50% of India's workforce rely on agriculture. And when 50% of India is working on agriculture or allied activities, what is that they are contributing? When we see their contribution to the GDP, while services gives you close to 55%, industry gives you almost 27 above %, agriculture is giving you close to 18%. So with 50% people working and only 18% being contributing, and with the agricultural growth rate growing only at 4%, definitely the inequalities will continue to grow in this country, sir. Of course, to address this issue, right from Nehru ji to Modi ji, they have emphasized. We very profoundly look back into Pandit Nehru ji's statement where he said dams, major irrigation dams are the temples of modern India. And then we look at recent Modi ji's statement where he very categorically reassured the nation, especially the farmers, that Kisan at any cost will be protected. Well, these are very good words, very encouraging. Now today, if I speak about 50% of India's workforce, I don't limit it to India's only this 50%. Today, people who are not dependent on agriculture, be it the right from the Supreme Court lawyers to the IT professionals to anyone, Deputy Chairman, sir, they have a concern for the farmer in the village. They have a concern for his prosperity. But unfortunately, India today, having the world's most arable land, and almost 70,000 TMC of God-given water, 50% of this resource of water is going untapped into the sea. Now, this is where the paragraph 11, what the government mentioned about express reforms, this is where I think the government's move should come in, Deputy Chairman, sir. All the major rivers in the country today are under interstate dispute, be it Krishna, Godavari, Kaveri, Ravi, Bias, Nalanda, Narmada, all the rivers are under dispute. Now, to overcome that, we look back and we see that 9 tribunals have been constituted so far in the country today. I believe there are 6 functioning. No respite, no solution. Beyond tribunals, specific authorities have been created. The Kaveri Water Management, the Bakra Bias Management Board, the Narmada Control, and from boards to the River Boards Act. These initiatives have been constituted for the last 70 years, but the progress for the goal for what it has to be achieved, unfortunately, Deputy Chairman, sir, nothing works. This is where the political will has to come in, and this is where paragraph 11 should come in, and this is where the Prime Minister should intervene. Earlier mechanisms were there, because fundamentally to achieve this, in spite of having tribunals, boards, it is the political convergence which, in my belief, can find a solution to it. And a political convergence was possible earlier when you had the NDC, the National Development Council, which unfortunately last met in 2012. After that, Niti Aayog came in, and that, I presume, has fallen sick. But Niti Aayog has definitely come up with ideas. But to what level is Niti Aayog implementing its ideas is the concern. Unfortunately, it is powerless. Then we had the Interstate Council Deputy Chairman, sir, which is supposed to be thrice a year. And I believe the last meeting was held in 2016 to discuss the Punch Commission report. And the Punch Commission report, fundamentally, the agenda on that day was to discuss federalism and interstate water linking. But unfortunately, that being the subject, that happened to be the last meeting also of the Interstate Council.